for you guys the AEW All In post show. So stay tuned for some awesome AEW content here, guys. We're gonna go over every match tonight that happened at AEW All In Wembley Stadium. There's some good ones tonight. It's a lot of bangers.
And say to anybody who hasn't watched it, does not want spoilers, come back and watch it later. And then don't do what my friend did to himself.
You don't want to spoil it right away, but we got some good ones to talk about, guys.
So it's the BCC, we'll call it. So it's the ladder match.
The BCC, oh yes, the ladder match, guys. So we start off with the ladder match, which featured the Patriarchy, the House of Black, the Blackpool Combat Club, and the Gun Club. This was a pretty straightforward match. It was pretty good. There was a couple cool ladder spots. There was some nice table spots. There was a nod to the Dudley Boys that I thought was kind of cool from the Gun Club. But in the end, guys, in this match, it was the BCC going over, winning the tag team titles, trios titles with Pac for the first time ever. Pac finally getting his Wembley moment, which I thought was absolutely awesome. So awesome to see Pac finally get his Wembley moment. It's much deserved for Pac. Absolutely great job from AEW on that one. That was super cool to see that.
Yeah, I just hope that was I just hope the House of Black at their time in the stars finally and get their titles back at some point.
All
But
right.
yes, I loved the BCC winning or Pac in the BCC, whichever way you want to call it. The next match is the glamorous story Mariah May versus Timeless Tony Storm. Decent match. There were some sloppy moments. I'm not going to say blotches, I just did the word. Very sloppy moments, very well done. I think there's going to be a run back, or I don't know what they're going to do next with Storm and May. Do they run it back? Maybe. Or do they go on a different route? And who faces Mariah May next, or who faces Tony Storm next? Because if you haven't seen it, spoiler, May won, but the crowd was dead. It was like you could have heard a shoe drop onto the floor. It was, I've never seen a champion win a heel and not get heel heat or cheers. I like to see what they do next, and I don't know if they put it back on Tony, because Tony got what Mariah May should have got. Then was the crowd cheering for her. What's your take on it?
I thought the Mariah May match was okay. I kind of predicted Mariah May would become the next women's champion. Obviously, they were lining up for that for a while, ever since Mariah basically won the Owen Hart tournament. And eventually I knew that Mariah was going to be the one to take it off of Tony, as she knew Tony the best and had the best game plan to defeat Tony Storm in that match. A lot of cool spots. Mariah did a lot of callbacks to Tony Storm's wrestling. Tony did a lot of callbacks to Mariah's wrestling. Obviously, Mariah gave Nigel McGuinness a kiss, which was kind of interesting after she slapped her mother in the event. Interesting match, but Mariah May is your new AEW Women's Champion. I'm hoping that Mariah May gets a solid enough run. She's a great wrestler, a great female talent. Yeah, I'm hoping that Mariah gets a solid run with the title.
It's all down to, can she get the crowd behind her or booing her? Because tonight you could have heard that juju shot Tony was going to use in her head drop. You would have heard it.
I think she'll get the crowd behind her in the States. It's only a matter of time before she maybe turns babyface and she gets the crowd behind her at Wembley. But it was definitely cool to see her get the title and become your new AEW Women's Champion in AEW. It's awesome.
So who's on?
Hey guys, welcome. We're doing good. How are you guys doing?
Nope. It's time for Hi Guys and Hook.
Oh, the Chris Jericho match with Hook. Obviously, this started off with Chris Jericho coming out to the ring, performing the song Spotlight with Fozzy. It was an interesting performance. It was okay. Hook came out with the heartbeats, kind of like what Taz used to come out with in early WWE. It was kind of a cool entrance for Hook to pay homage to his father. It was really cool. Great match overall. Hook landed some good match. There was a couple good spots in there with
Couple good spots, but a lot of short, small things used.
yeah, not a lot of stuff that was super crazy in that match. Taz obviously helped Hook as he came to the ring, and helped Hook win because he got Brian Keith in the submission submission hold, and then Hook got him into the submission hold to regain his title. Hook is now back to being your FTW Women's or World Champion. So that's awesome. Hi there, welcome.
Whoopsie. Next match is the tag team match.
Which one's that?
Titles.
Oh, the tag team title match that we all love to talk about. Well, once again, it had good spots. I mean, there was solid spots from FTR and from the Acclaimed and from the Bucks. A little bit of inside interference where they got their title and they hit them with the belt. And again, it was another great match that was flowing well until the Young Bucks decided to go into business for themselves and get the victory again.
And then who came out to, remember, they had the young Grizzly vets come out, and so I'll do the next two. First off, we forgot to mention Jamie Hayter made a return during the pre-show to confront Saraya, which I don't get still. Second, the young Grizzly vets have returned to AEW. I guess they're signed. They confronted the elite pepper band there, the Bucks, but then they attacked. Was it FTR?
FTR, yeah.
They attacked FTR, so I think it's going to be the young vets against to lose to the Young Bucks. Next on the list, I'll say this. I'll talk about this very quickly. There were some cool people in the Gauntlet match. I got confused because I thought a Gauntlet match meant you pin a guy, next guy comes in. No, it's basically a Royal Rumble with a pinfall. The Patriarchy has an AKA Christian won with the help of Luchasaurus or Kill Switch or God knows what. My favorite things was, we'll both say it, Ricochet is now all elite. You probably saw that through the week. It was spoiled. But the biggest one, if you guys don't want to get spoiled, do not watch when I say this. Niles McGuinness made his in-ring return into the in-ring wrestling during his boyfriend Christian Cage winning the title match, which we don't understand. Yeah, it was good, but I don't get Christian at all. I think maybe Wednesday he gets a title because of something else, or does finally Kill Switch pull the Kill Switch and take the thing from him, and Kill Switch gets the title opportunity. You get the next.
Yeah, that match was terrible. Absolutely terrible. I don't get what Tony Khan did here. Obviously, the smart decision that would have been smart for them to do in the Gauntlet match would have been to have Hangman go over, because everybody wanted to see Hangman versus Swerve. That would have made the most sense, instead of going back to Christian. They've gone back to Christian like 6-7 different times. It's getting annoying, Tony Khan. This is getting bad. It seems like you guys keep going to the well about 100 times over, and it keeps failing for you guys. There's a reason that you're in the state that you're in right now compared to going against what WWE's doing, and it's because you keep going to the well too many times. There's only so many times that you can go to this well and expect the same results. People are fed up. People are tired of it. They don't want Christian Cage anymore into these big title matches. They don't want the Young Bucks going over every single time that they fight somebody that's decent that could take the title. Like, you're slowly killing your company. They don't want Jack Perry even going over. Like, this is just like completely outrageous, Tony Khan. This is stupid. You had a great event that you basically killed up in 2 minutes with those two terrible matches that you guys had in there. Absolutely horrible.
Well, your terms, it's the Aussie versus the American.
Will Ospreay versus MJF was probably actually one of the best matches on the card. Ospreay proved again, like, he's just a phenomenal athlete. He's so talented. Lots of really good spots. In the end, it was Will Ospreay getting the win with the help of Daniel Garcia, which was super cool to see. Finally, Daniel Garcia come back to AEW. At the start of the card before, I'm jumping a little bit, but Swerve Strickland signed a new deal with AEW. So Swerve Strickland has signed a new deal with AEW, which is awesome to see because I really like Swerve. I'm a huge fan of Swerve Strickland and everything that he does. But yeah, Will Ospreay got his title back. They were going to offer him the American title. He didn't want to touch it. They brought back the international title, which was awesome. Will Ospreay is your brand new international champion, and I love it. Good for Will Ospreay to have his moment at Wembley Stadium in front of his family and his friends, and it was really cool to see.
Next is DMD and CEO.
The Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné match was okay. It started off a little botchy, like there were some bad spots with it. But eventually towards the end it got a little bit better. This was probably the first time that I can say honestly that Mercedes Moné actually looked really good in the ring. A lot of times when I see her wrestling, it's not the best wrestling that she's done. Tonight I can honestly say it was probably some of the best wrestling that she's done. She honestly looked really good tonight. Britt Baker looked really good too, coming off the injury. A little bit of ring rust, but she was bringing the fight to Mercedes. This was a super close match, as we all pictured that was going to be a super close match between the two of them. But in the end, Mercedes Moné just proved to be too much for Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, as Mercedes Moné retained her Women TBS Championship. So Mercedes Moné is still your AW TBS champion, which is awesome. I do like Mercedes Moné. I'm a big fan of her now, especially since she was able to win without any outside interference, and she actually looked good in her first match in a while in AW that she actually looked good on her own. I'll get you to touch on a little bit on that one if you want to.
He said it best. I was hoping, and at the end we would see the Princess of the House of Black return, but we didn't get that. I was hoping for it to see Julia Hart confront Mercedes for the title, but now who did he put against? Who's the next opponent? Match was very blotchy. It was entertaining, blotchy mess between the two because they're green against each other. But it's how long they're going to keep the title on Mercedes. That's the main question. Do you go longer? Do you go until all out and that's where she loses the title? Do you wait until what do you do? She won him clean, and now I'm gonna quickly type on this 10-minute match. Jack Perry versus Darby Allin. Very quick match. It's only 10 minutes and 27 seconds long. It was okay. It was very short, which is surprising. I wish the match had gone longer and told more of a story. But then at the end, Perry did win after using real glass, like he always gets just made fun of. And the best thing about it, best thing and kind of odd to see was Steve Borden, aka the Stinger, made an appearance tonight, just like Undertaker does with WWE, to help Darby get out of being burned. I don't think this rivalry's done. I don't know if it is. I don't know who the hell goes after Jack now. Because it seems like the Elite just want to keep all the titles for themselves and not share. So we could be seeing the Scapegoats escaping with that title for a long, long time. Because the Elite are not going to drop any titles. The only way I see Jack losing to whoever they decide to have him lose to is when the EVPs, aka the Young Bucks, get stripped of those EVP slots, and it needs to happen after tonight. So again, Jack beat Darby, and I'll quickly touch on the main event. My piece, I'm happy that Bryan Danielson beat Sir Strickland via the Yes Lock or Bell Lock, whatever lock you want to call it. Great match. It's probably the best match of the card. Knowing that Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan needs 3 neck surgeries. I am curious, Tony, what's your end goal? Are you going to put Patriarch as a champion? Is that your end game? Are you going to have Bryan Danielson lose to Niles McGuinness and finally have them two it all out? Or does he drop it Wednesday and that was his final hurrah in the ring and that was how they went out, was him as champion? I mean, do you go back and Swerve regains his title and you go into all out, one shot. Does he get the title back and it's him versus Adam Page again, what fans do want to see for the title? Or does Christian Cage become the next champion? I know it's not going to be the thing people want to see, but the Patriarch does whatever the Patriarch wants to do. And again, he's associated with the Elite. So it's going to be something to see after that amazing victory of bloody victory of Bryan Danielson. I just now need to know. I don't know what they're going to do, and I don't know if it's right to keep him long term. I know he wants to retire because I know his next surgery needs to happen. Do they strip him of the title, or does he have a match and Christian Cage cashes in and becomes the next champion and becomes another Grand Slam champion in AEW? Time will tell. Time will tell. Overall, for me, a solid 7 because some of the matches were stupid endings, but a 7 because of Ospreay and Danielson saving the card. 2 great technician and high flyers in the squared circle.
I would say the Danielson match is probably the best match in the card. There were so many good spots in that match. Obviously, with Swerve hitting Danielson 3 different times with the house call. Danielson kicking out every time from the house call. Danielson kicking out of a Swerve stomp, which was crazy. The Berserko knee hit from Danielson to no effect from Swerve Strickland. It was just awesome. Hangman came out to try to interfere to try to, I guess, cost Swerve the match. It didn't necessarily work at first. Danielson wrestled probably, I would say, and I've seen probably one of his best matches, which was in Ottawa at Collision when he fought Katsuyori Shibata, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Probably one of the best matches I've ever seen. This one kind of topped it. Danielson wrestled even better tonight. Probably the best match I've ever seen Bryan Danielson wrestle in his entire career. I think he was fueled more so by his family being there. Obviously, Brie was there, and his kids were there watching the match, so that definitely fueled him to deliver probably the best performance of his career tonight. And he needed it against a guy like Swerve Strickland. Obviously, Swerve Strickland being a very competitive champion, a very strong champion for AEW for as many times as Swerve has defended the title, beating links of Will Ospreay, Samoa Joe, all kinds of big name people. So Danielson looked really good tonight. I was super happy to see Danielson come out on top, win the title, finally have his moment being the AEW World Champion. Very well deserved, Bryan Danielson. You've had an incredible career. This is just a cherry on top of an excellent career that you've had so far in AEW. So for me, for Bryan Danielson winning his first ever AEW championship, which is absolutely exceptional, in the best match of his entire career. The 2 best matches on the card were definitely Bryan Danielson, 100%, and Will Ospreay. Those 2 are just absolutely phenomenal. I'd say I'd give this card a solid 8.5 out of 10. It was really solid. Ricochet making his AEW debut, even though we knew it was coming, was still absolutely phenomenal. Ricochet still has it. He looked really good tonight. I'm interested to see where they go with Ricochet and AEW. I know Will Ospreay wanted to challenge Ricochet, and obviously they've had a fantastic rivalry beforehand, which we have not got a chance to see at an AEW, which I'm definitely intrigued to hopefully get a chance to see it in AEW. But I'm definitely excited for Ricochet coming over to AEW. He was a huge talent in WWE, so Ricochet coming over to AEW was awesome. Sting coming back was wicked. We did not expect to have the Stinger return to AEW, as Sting returned tonight to help Darby Allin, which was really cool. Obviously, Jamie Hayter making her AEW return as well tonight on the pre-show for 0 Hour. So some solid returns tonight. Obviously, 8.5 out of 10 for me. Bryan Danielson winning was absolutely phenomenal. That was a really cool moment to see him with his wife and kids, as well as the Blackpool Combat Club and Pac all in the ring celebrating with Danielson with his first AEW championship.
He's the best.
So we'll take a couple questions there, guys, then we'll wrap this up. So we'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on All Out, or All In, sorry, if you've watched All In. Wembley Stadium. This is their second big match at Wembley Stadium. But AEW did have some other big announcements. See if you can find the dates for those.
One time just ring quick. Someone
that they will be will be returning for All In next year, as All In next year will be in Texas, guys. So Texas next year will be All In. Wembley Stadium is actually picking up Forbidden Door next year, which is awesome. We're going to get the dates for you guys on those events soon. And AEW's going to Australia for the first time ever, in Brisbane for Grand Slam, which is coming next year. February 15th, I believe, is the...
I think so.
I believe is that one for Brisbane, which is going to be awesome for you guys in Australia to get to witness some AEW action, as AEW Grand Slam will be making their way to Brisbane, Australia. Obviously, probably you're going to have Buddy Matthews on that card, as he's from Australia, which would be cool. Hello. Hello.
I am looking. It should be here because
I'm trying to find the dates for the events for you guys, so.
He's being a Tony. You know, he's put everything under the cook kid.
So yeah, well, he gets the dates ready for the event. So there's some huge matches coming for AEW. Lots of good stuff coming your way, guys. Obviously, the next big pay-per-view for AEW will be AEW All Out, which is September 7th, so stay tuned for that one. Obviously, we're going to have... The match that we're going to have on there so far that was announced is it's going to be Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale. Obviously, because Willow Nightingale won the match. So Willow Nightingale won the match, the tag team match that they had on the pre-show, which was Willow and Tomohiro Ishii versus Stokely and Stat. So Willow ended up winning that match. So she gets to pick the stipulation for her CMLL Women's Championship match, as it's going to be Willow versus Statlander at AEW All Out.
You were right about one. You got one already.
What's up, Gorilla? How you doing, buddy?
You got the Grand Slam right.
All right, what's the Forbidden Door one?
So I have to use the internet because stupid thing. June 25th, 2020. Wait a second. Actually, you know what? This might help me. Hang on. This might save me trying to look everywhere.
Just trying to get you the dates for the next AEW events. But yeah, you guys, the floor is yours, guys. The floor is yours.
And that's what I'm having trouble trying to find.
Forbidden Door for Wembley Stadium.
I know that. It's dumb. Oh, they're August 24th.
August 24th next year, guys. Forbidden Door returns to Wembley Stadium for the first time ever, actually. So that's going to be super cool to see Wembley Stadium hosting Forbidden Door. Obviously, it's going to be another afternoon event, as it'll probably be around 1 o'clock, but huge news for you guys in England for Wembley Stadium, as AEW Forbidden Door is be making its way to you guys next year, which is going to be awesome on the 24th of August. Super cool. Super exciting times. They had a hell of a crowd tonight for AEW All In, as Wembley always shows up for wrestling, and they've definitely delivered again tonight with another phenomenal crowd appearance from AEW. And a great show overall for you guys. And obviously Brisbane and making its debut in 15th of February.
15th February?
I think, for the Grand Slam one. You said I got that one?
February,
Yeah. What was the other one?
Well, you got Texas, but...
Yeah, when's the Texas date? Where's getting all the dates for you guys for the AEW events coming up?
On July 12th.
July 12th, guys. AEW All In next year for Texas. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be awesome. We'd have no idea who's going to be the champion heading to All In next year, as it's going to be a mystery for us. We'll see. Danielson is the champion for now, which is awesome. I was so happy to see Danielson get his moment, especially with his family, his wife and kids coming in there celebrating with him. Obviously with Claudio and Wheeler and Pac. It was awesome to see that. The only one that wasn't there was Mox, but I'm sure Moxley was super proud of Danielson to finally win the big title in AEW. That's absolutely awesome. It's well-deserved, Danielson. You're definitely one of the best wrestlers in professional wrestling, and there's nobody more deserving than you. So congratulations, Bryan Danielson, on becoming the new AEW World Champion. You definitely deserved it, buddy.
These are the best. I'm just bringing people's responses for tonight.
There's nothing else you touch on a little bit more of the AEW. I can save my thing there.
You save your thing.
Well, my water.
My water. What can I touch on? He said it best. Well, a lot of fans. Some fans are saying that Mercedes Hogan Baker. It's tough because people who, if you haven't seen it, the one thing I will say, I don't like that Mercedes has her own writer, right? So she gets to pick and choose who she wins or loses to. But the only problem I have with that is, if she goes the whole year as champion, and what I want to see regain her title is Julia. I wish we got Julia hurt though. That would have been awesome to see her return. Things I didn't like. I didn't understand the Jamie Hayter Saraya thing. Made no sense. They could have just had another match. but they decided to just have a little beatdown, and then there goes Jamie's pop. Another thing I didn't understand why they had Dustin Rhodes and Devon Eriks on a pre-show match that was completely like when you played your toys, your wrestling figures, and you put what 6 on one side and 6 or 8 on one side, and that was a gun. The pre-show was the wrong show. It was cool to see Stokely Hathaway try to wrestle, besides getting clubbered. The only thing I like was seeing Ospreay win and Danielson win. I found a lot of the other stuff was like my friend who can predict AEW before it happens. Some of it felt like that. Now the question is to you: who do you think will beat Mercedes Moné for the title? Because it's not Britt Baker. I think we got to. I'm agreeing with one fan. I think we got to. Besides the racist stuff, I think we're in a Hulk Hogan issue with Mercedes. She's not going to put anyone over. She's going to pick the one who's going to beat her, and I don't think that's the way Tony should do it. I think
it's going to be Camille.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And I don't want. And that's stupid, isn't it? Sorry, I'm talking about my friend on the side. It's stupid if that's the case because that's her hand-picked person. Where Tony should step in and say, no, we're not going to have you pick who you're going to lose to. I think Tony's becoming like Eric Bischoff. You saw it tonight. He's got to strip the Young Bucks of the EVP 100% tonight. He's got to start being more of the booker, not the best friend. Because tonight there's so many stupid decisions made, besides Ospreay and Danielson. I hope for FTR win the titles because that would have been a grand pop. Nope. And I was hoping for Darby because I don't like Jack Perry very much. Nope. The Sting thing was cool, but why did not have Sting come out when Darby was getting put into the, the body bag? There would have been more sense than him at the end, just to swing the bat at the Bucks and miss Jack Perry completely, not even hit him, where I think that was supposed to happen. I think Tony's got too many hands in the kitchen with too many people trying to tell who they're gonna. The elite are the biggest ones. Yeah, my friend said if you ordered them on Temu and Wish, here's the NWO. I think my friend said it best tonight. I don't know how many guys can let me know in the comments if you agree with him. Jeff Jarrett should become the new booker for AEW because they're going to make these 2025 dates. They're going to start putting smarter decisions in, and Tony ain't doing that. Tony's too busy doing something else. Building a snowman.
Mountains of cocaine.
And drinking the ones that give you wings, Red Bull. I don't think he knows how to run a company. And and the worst thing of the night, you can agree with this, Martha Hart coming out for no reason at all. It was like, why, Tony? It's the Owen Hart. It's not the Martha Hart Cup tournament. It's the Owen Hart. And this is why I'm not a fan of it. Martha's just getting spotlighted on herself. And I'm going to say this. I might get criticized for this, but I don't think she even cares about the Owen Hart Foundation. I think it was just to sign papers to get her on television and act like it's all about Martha when it should be about Owen and the Owen Hart Foundation itself. But after tonight, it was just Martha. I'm glad the fans booed her a bit there. I wish they had booed her louder. Maybe Tony would have known that. It's going to be the same thing. I'm going to bring WWE for 2 seconds. If Owen ever went in the hall, Martha would make it all about her. So I'm kind of like, yay, he's not in yet. Seeing Tom, the Dynamite Kid Jr. wrestle was fun. I really enjoyed his wrestling scene with Devon Eriks. But Tony, if you and I'm catching this somehow, or a fan who, listen up, it's time to become the owner and stop booking these playing with your wrestling figure matches. You had baby faces with team with heels. You had the Texas Avengers, their actual called, which I don't get that, team up with against the Cage of Agony. I was like, why? Tonight was a gong show. Christian winning was, I called that right when Christian came out hobbling like an old man. I'm like, oh Christ, he's going to win it all. And he did. Are you guys who are AEW fans, are you ready for the Patriarch to be the next AEW champion? One Patriarch to the next?
Oh, you know who's probably going to take it away from him?
I don't think
The rated R superstar.
I don't know if he's going back in time.
He's healing now. He could be back in time before they do the thing with Christian.
I think it's going to be Wednesday. It's going to be either Wednesday. He won't be back in time for All In. Oh, out. Tony. I hate when he does these two behind each other. I screwed him up on skate. I think Christian's going to win the title either Wednesday or he's going to take it all out. He's going to take it all out on Danielson. I don't know if Danielson makes all out even with his neck surgeries. Excuse me, dry throat. I don't know what to do here. I don't want to see Christian and Edge run or whatever, run back at each other again and again and again and again and again. Fans are going to get stale. I don't know. Tony's got to decide on the women's side of things. Does May get a full run or does Tony regain it out? Because I don't know what you do there. I don't know what you do with the trios titles now because you keep I can't use the one word online. I don't know if I can get in trouble for using the B word. The B word PAC and the BCC, do they get a whole year? And then they get the February, and that's when the House of Black finally get their what's the word?
Titles?
Their moment.
Comeuppance?
Yeah. That's the word. Better word than I would have used. Tony's got a lot of work, and I think it's time, Tony, to pull the Young Bucks off creative and snip the EVPs and give the EVPs to two people who actually know the business. Like if, let's say, Danielson does drop a title like Sting did, on Wednesday, give him an EVP spot behind the scenes. The EVP should be someone or some buddies who are behind the scenes who don't wrestle. Because I don't think those titles are going off the Bucks or Okada or Perry the rest of 2024, which I don't like. Because if you look at that, quickly saying, I know people, and I guess to those people who thought Rebecca Quinn was going to make an appearance, she was nowhere to be found. I don't think she was ever going to AEW, but the stands thought she was. And I know fans are disappointed about the Machine Guns, because obviously now they're all 100% probably going to WWE now, because this would have been because I guarantee a lot of tag teams look at the division because of the Bucks, and my friend said it's so, they are killing the tag team division. You don't want to go there, cross your G's and then dot your T's and go, oh, I'm going to lose the Young Bucks. Yay, I'm here. Look at Penta and Phoenix. I think they were supposed to be the ones winning with Pac, but because of the Bucks, they're like, peace out, we're gone. So AEW needs to work, get Tony to stop the Snowman stuff and really start being an owner. If AEW, we don't even know about a TV deal yet even. Tony, I think it's time to melt the snowman, pour down the Red Bull down the sink or the toilet, down the sink, and get your company back to what it used to be. Because now you got Mercedes as like the Hulk Hogan of AEW. You got the Bucks at the NWO, and you're basically like Eric Bischoff. You're basically doing what he did. I don't want to see AEW go down, but if this continues, yikes. I don't like the way it's looking. Because this is All Elite Wrestling. This is not WCW 2.0, or is it WCW 2.0, and it was all a ruse all along. To have Mercedes be the first ever woman to sign a contract was, I guess, good, but then she's going to probably go the whole year and go to the big pay-per-view in January and lose it to Camille. Would be stupid. And that's what I think. You're right. Because I'm going to bat.
Yeah, but I can
anything?
break down some points there. So overall, I'll do some pros and cons for AEW tonight. Obviously, the big pro for Wembley All In was Bryan Danielson becoming the new AEW World Champion, which I thought was fantastic. Huge congratulations to Bryan Danielson on the win. Another huge pro, I would say, would be Will Ospreay going over MJF, regaining his international championship. Smart booking decision there, guys. Really good job on that one. Ricochet making his AEW debut in the Gauntlet. Now, there's two ways that I thought Ricochet was going to make his debut tonight. One of them was the Gauntlet, and the other one was the Will Ospreay match, because Will Ospreay had stated that if he had won, he would call out Ricochet for a match to show everybody basically what Ricochet is all about. So that was the other spot that I could have seen Ricochet in. But it was still really cool to see Ricochet make his AW debut in the Gauntlet match. Ricochet looked fantastic. Obviously, he hasn't missed a beat. He still has those awesome high-flying moves that he had in WWE. I would like to see him go over in that match. Obviously, the first con that's going to come from that match is in the Gauntlet match when they put over Christian Cage, which was a huge mistake to have Christian Cage and Luchasaurus in that match and have Christian go over. It was just dumb. It's been done so many times, guys. You keep pushing Christian. Nobody wants it. We didn't ask for this. We would have rather taken Hangman. We would have rather taken Ricochet. Hell, I would have even rather taken Jeff Jarrett in that sentence if we're going to do that. I would have rather taken any of those three over booking Christian Cage in that match as the win. That was the first con for AEW. So obviously the pros so far, we have Danielson becoming the AEW World Champion, Will Ospreay becoming the International Champion, Ricochet's debut, which was a huge pro, Christian Cage winning that match was a huge con. Another pro was finally giving Pac his Wembley moment with the Blackpool Combat Club and having Pac go over in the match for the Trios Tag Team Championships, which also featured Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne against House of Black and the Gun Club. So, huge congratulations for those guys. That was an awesome pro. Obviously, another con was the Bucks going over in the tag team match, as they had multiple opportunities to either put them titles onto the Acclaimed or put them on FTR or anybody that would be defending them more often than the Bucks. So this here, guys, is another con for AEW. Obviously, another one was the Hangman decision, because if you're going to have Hangman go out at the end and try to interfere in the Swerve match, it would have made more sense, Tony Khan. I know once you put the nose powder away and you look at things properly, it would have made more sense to put Hangman over in that Gauntlet match, because Hangman came out for the Swerve match at the end. That would have been perfect. That would have made more sense to do it that way instead of having Christian Cage win. That made no sense. That was terrible booking. You guys are proving time and time again that you build such a good show and you always kill it with terrible booking decisions. Multiple times where you build up such great momentum for the show at the start, then you just knock it way down with the decision making is just awful. Bischoff's right. You guys definitely do need some writers. You need people to go in there and help write your stuff to help make it better. You need people in there to actually book the matches that know what they're doing. You have that in Jeff Jarrett. He's been obviously one of the best bookers for TNA at the time when he was running that company. You have people in there that can run the company. And I think it's time for Tony to step down a little bit from the creative, like making decision making and booking matches side of things. So, besides that, those are some cons. Obviously, the attendance is obviously a huge pro. Sting making his debut or his return tonight was a huge pro. Another con, sadly, was Jamie Hayter making her comeback, which is awesome. I love that. But she made it at the wrong spot. Instead of having Jamie make the comeback on the pre-show, you could have easily saved that for the main show. Maybe have Jamie come out at the end of Mercedes' match. Or come out as a distraction for Britt Baker or something. Like, that would have made more sense than to have her in the pre-show with Saraya, who really didn't have anything to do with the pay-per-view. So, at points, AEW All In got super messy. Other points, it was actually a decent enough pay-per-view. So, for me, it's 8.5 out of 10, guys. It could have easily been better had they done some better booking decisions, but besides those terrible booking decisions that they did go with, it actually wasn't a bad card. I'm hoping for huge success for Ricochet. Congratulations on becoming All Elite and making your debut tonight at Wembley Stadium. That's awesome. I'm hoping that you eventually maybe get the match with Ricochet that we all want to watch and see. So, and once again, we'll close this out by saying congratulations to the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. You wrestled probably the best match I think that we've ever seen you wrestle in your entire career tonight. It definitely showed. Such a cool moment to see him celebrating with his wife and kids. and also with Claudio, Wheeler, and Pac. I'm sure Moxley was watching at home and he was super happy to see Danielson go over. There's not a much more deserving guy than him to go over in AEW to become your next AEW champion than Bryan Danielson. So huge congratulations to Danielson. This has been the All In Wembley Stadium review, guys. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. We'll be sure to make more of these for you guys. Obviously, in the future, if you guys enjoy them, you want to see more of them, let us know. So have a good night, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Like, share, subscribe, and comment.